Hello everyone, I'm Tim from Tim's PC and I build custom PCs to suit anyone's needs or budget. Also live stream my builds and repairs for transparency and educational purposes. So if you'd like to get an awesome new PC and you'd like to see it get put together live, send me a message today. Alright, so we're back here on Sunday night and we're going to be building Michael's PC. So basically, Michael's keen on the new Harry Potter game. It's coming out really soon. Doesn't want to spend too much, so I'll put together this build for him. It's going to be a good starter build and he's going to be able to upgrade it over time, and you know, if he feels like he wants to get more performance out of it, you know, I've discussed that with him, that this is upgradable because we do not need a 750 watt power supply for the components that we've got here today. So we got a Ryzen 5 5600X 6-core 12-thread CPU. We've got an MSI B550M Pro VDH Wi-Fi motherboard. We got 32 gigabytes of RAM. We've got a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD. We've got the RTX 3060. This is the 12 gigabyte model. We've got the 750 watt power supply, so we can upgrade the graphics card or whatever else we wanted to in the future. And we've got our old friend here, the Silverstone Farah R1 case with the 4 included ARGB fans. So a good little build here on a Sunday night. Hey Theodore, how you going? Good to have you with us as always. Hey Richard, how you going? Good to have you here. Alright, so I've seen these motherboards have sort of come back in stock. I don't know how long for or anything like that, but these are good little motherboards. We've sold hundreds of these for AMD builds. We've only had a couple come back, so low failure rate, and you know, just has everything that you'd expect for a motherboard like this. So we've got 5 fan headers, we've got a USB-C connector, 2 USB 2s, dual M2, Wi-Fi Bluetooth, dual channel memory in 4 slots. Yeah, it ticks boxes. Heatsink there on the MOSFET VRM, very important. And you can put in you can put like a Ryzen 9 5900 on this, and while I probably wouldn't overclock too much, you should be right. It's a pretty good board. It's very stable. There hasn't even been a BIOS update for it for a while. Actually, that's how stable the thing is. Alright, and so yeah, always remember just to double check that your AM4 CPU is in the socket all the way around before you go and try and put your cooler on.
So Theodore says Hogwarts is already out, so hurry up with this night's build.
Yeah, I know.
Hurry up, Tim. Hurry up, Tim.
He's local, so he'll be able to pick this up tomorrow anyway. Very good. So just make sure you tuck in that cable. You don't want that sticking out. There's plenty of room to run it behind the back there and behind the feet there, in between the heatsink. Oh. There's my scissors. Alrighty, so we're nearly done prepping up this board. Just need our M2 drive. So I'll put it in the bottom slot there, just so we leave the more accessible slot open. It's generally a good way of doing things. The last thing you want is to have to take off the graphics card to add another M2 drive, just if you want to add some extra storage. Okay, so that board's all prepped and ready to go. Alrighty, warranty terms and conditions. It is the little document that says this complies with Australian consumer law, essentially, and American consumer law. So I have to give you a 1-year warranty on it. It includes the fans, but the fans are like the only thing that's a moving part. You know, it's an aluminium chassis. I mean, why do you need a warranty on an aluminium chassis? Are you thinking that it's gonna just, you know, randomly like dissolve? Are you expecting the aluminium to, like, I don't know, dissolve away in the air? Like, without you chucking it in like a big bath of acid or something like that. Like, nothing can really happen to it, right? Other than you dropping it or damaging it in some way. But that's got nothing to do with the company that made it. That's you breaking it. So if it's alright when you got it, it sort of doesn't need a warranty. Just to really, the fans, yeah. The fans have a 1-year warranty, but the thing is how they get you. They won't give you a replacement for just that one fan. They'll make you take the whole case back. So be very careful of that. Sometimes it's just easier to go and buy another fan than go through the process and then find out that they want not just the fan that's faulty back, but they want the entire chassis back in the box, all the screws and everything like that. They'll find ways to weasel out of it, right? Yeah. Hey man, how you going? Good to have you with us. Yeah, it's a good value little case, this one. And yeah, still don't know really what they're warranting in terms of the case. It's just, you've got to, when you make a product like this, you have to give it 1 year warranty as a minimum in Australia. That's like the price of admission. So under consumer law, it has to have at least 1 year warranty. Now, the only exception to that is, you know, you don't have to offer a 1 year warranty on a packet of paper towels, okay? You don't have to offer a 1 year warranty on a bar of soap. You don't have to warrant, you know, paper plates. You don't have to warrant anything that's, the lifespan of it is less than a year. But if you make something that's meant to last longer than a year, you have to have a minimum of a 1 year warranty. So sometimes consumers ignorantly think, oh, look, it's actually all right. It's got a 1 year warranty. And it's like, that is the price of admission in Australia, right? And in the US. That is the price of admission. You have to have a 1 year warranty. You can't offer anything less than that. So yeah, don't be fooled. It's only if they go over 1 year warranty that they're offering you something extra. That's the point. Car companies are famous for it. And basically with cars, if you go to a manufacturer and they are only offering a 1 year warranty, run very far away. Don't go anywhere near it. No matter what you think you know about the brand or anything like that. Oh.
Somebody snuck a gorilla suit onto the space station to scare people.
Oh, that would have been fucking funny.
What if you asked me what this
Fuck, how'd you get away with that? Because that would have, like, I know it doesn't sound like much weight, but I'm sure they'd be aware of that on a rocket. Pretty sure every freaking kilogram of weight is fucking accounted for on a rocket. There might be some sort of like variance threshold that they have to keep below, so maybe you wouldn't notice a gorilla suit in someone's bag. But I think a gorilla suit would be fairly heavy. We're talking, she's talking about on the ISS, someone smuggled a gorilla suit on there to scare other people.
One of the astronauts' brothers sent it to him. He vacuum packed the suit and sent it with a cargo delivery on an unmanned space expedition.
Brilliant. So no one would have known any different. Yeah, nice. and it was sent to the guy, and then he was like, "Ha! I control everyone now."
Yeah, he was like, why? To his brother's like, I'm sending you a gorilla suit. And he's like, because there's never been a gorilla in space.
That's too good. That's too good.
Fucking fine.
Alright, so we've got to put a few different offsets in this case, because it's just got a 6-bolt ATX configuration. So we've got to move that to a micro. There we go.
Tim,
Yeah.
Mike wants to know, is it better to leave the perspex on or off? Does it change the output?
As in the side panel, I'm assuming. No, that's fine. It's not going to make any significant difference. Like I do a stress test on all of them, and the stress test is going to make it get hotter than anything you will do while gaming, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought streamers or since you don't need the original packaging, it's like the wires up in there.
Sorry, what was that? Original packaging.
I thought Australia consumer laws says you don't need the original packaging, it's like the wires up in there.
You don't need the original packaging. Or possibly, but
It
depends on
what it
it
is.
depends on whether someone will give you a refund or not.
Mike says yes, so you decide. Side panel.
Yeah, no. So it doesn't really matter if you want to run open frame. Yeah, I mean, I sometimes have my PC open. It's more because I'm potentially doing stuff and playing around with it. It's not going to make any significant difference to the airflow dynamics. You've got one fan here in the exhaust position. You've got 3 on the front in the inlet position, and then you've got nothing but this vent and this magnetic dust filter on the top. So basically, heat is going to be exhausted out the top because when we've got 3 fans on the front and the glass is closed and only 1 fan at the back. Yes, this fan will be exhausting heat, but some of the air is going to be forced out the top, which is good because that's naturally where the heat will build up, just based on like thermodynamics inside the case. Heat rises, etc., etc.
Tim, for your Ouija lesson, you're going to get the new 7950X 3D CPU from AMD?
Well, not me personally, because I wouldn't need it. I wouldn't need it for what I do. But if someone's keen and wants to give it a go, like if I like the 3800X 3D runs really hot, so I generally don't give it to people just because it runs so hot, and it's just potentially a support call waiting to happen. I'll normally just let the enthusiasts come to me and say that they want say a 5800X 3D, and if they want it, we'll do it, sort of thing. Instead of me trying to like sell one to someone, if that makes sense. Because I don't want to, you know, you can easily recommend the wrong thing to the wrong customer, right? People care about different things. And like when it comes to high performance CPUs, I mean, I don't want to sound like too much of a broken record here, but like you've heard me say many times before, you know, you can sacrifice CPU a little bit with when it comes to gaming. Most of your performance is dictated from the graphics card. So, you know, sometimes even a slightly bottlenecked graphics card is better than the model below it, if that makes sense. So you've got to consider everything. Alrighty. So this will be our graphics card here. I'm going to open it up so you can have a look. Still covered in plastic. Oh, and it doesn't have a pin protector. I think we can sort that out. Alrighty. So now I've got a PC to wire up. Lots of fun stuff. PCIe. We only need one PCIe. And no SATA. Okay, so tucked away those cables that we don't need, and these are the cables that we do need. So you could just, you know, stick the cable out and just stick it up like that if you wanted to. I mean, it works, but that's an example of not doing the cable management very well. So if you've got a micro ATX board in an ATX case, the way to do it discreetly is you run the cables behind the motherboard. So there'll be a little bit of space created by the offsets for you to slide those cables behind. And so there's no disadvantage or advantage to this beyond the advantage of not seeing any cables come down from below. So it still looks all nice and neat and tidy. You don't see any like random cables coming out and spoiling your day. So that's pretty much how you do it. If you've got a full-size ATX board, that's great, but yeah, it might not be within your budget. But you don't, just because it's not within your budget doesn't mean that the cable management has to look crap. Anyone can do this, and as long as you've got, you know, insulated cables like this, like you wouldn't want to use any cables thicker than what we've got here. Sort of this grade of cable here is about as much as you can fit behind it, because you don't want it pinned up against any of these pins on the back of the board there. You want them to be sort of loose. So I should see how I can just easily move that around at the back there. That's what you want for your cables. You don't want them pressed on or anything like that. And also you only want to put in this bolt here in the middle and this bolt at the top, just so you can run cables discreetly behind the board there. And next one's is, oh, there's one rogue one here that's a different length to the rest of them. It's a weird attribute to the case. So these are our front panel connectors. This is our power switch and reset switch and all of that good stuff. And this one out here being all rogue and shit is our HD LED. So the little light that comes on when your hard drive's accessed.
Puppy meow. You're a cat.
Okay. And then the other thing that's great about this motherboard is it's got a horizontally orientated USB 3 port, so we don't have to have this big chunky USB 3 connector sort of plugged in awkwardly somewhere in the case. We can just have it just like that. It's tucked away nice and neat. Okay. So now we're sort of left with, we've plugged in a lot of those peripherals for the case. Now we've just got our RGB to wire up. So our RGB port on this motherboard is up the top here. I think there is also one down the bottom, but we're going to use this one up the top. Okay, so we've plugged in one of our RGB fans, and then we've got this other cable coming off here with the pins in it. So we can take off the protector, and then we can take our next fan and just like we're plugging into the motherboard, we'll plug into these pins here, and then repeat the process for the next fan. And the next. Done. Yeah. Hey Queen Waffles, how you going? Good to have you with us as always.
Hugh says hello.
Hey Hugh, how you going? Good to have you with us. And so yeah, what I recommend you do with your RGB cables is basically get them, bunch them up into one little bunch, and then put a cable tie around it. Just one. And then it's very easy for you or me or whoever, if you have a broken fan and you want it changed out, we're not making more work for ourselves. Because the last thing we want to do is just make more work for ourselves for no particular reason at all. Okay, now we've got 4 fans. So I think we've got 5 fan headers on this case. So we should be right. We should be able to plug each of these fans into the motherboard. And that's obviously ideal because when we plug them into the motherboard like this, we can control each of them individually. So if we're worried about fan noise, this is always ideal. If you use a controller that plugs into the motherboard, it'll still just be the one speed control when you go in and try to adjust your fan speed and stuff.
Now. Now.
Yeah. What's up? Oh. Fucking hell.
Meow. 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 Very rowdy. Meow. 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 Meow.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and 4 fans there. Very good. So we'll put a few more bolts in our motherboard. We only have 2 in there at the moment, for the sake of discreetly running all of our cables. Now we'll have a nice tidy build. There we go. And now the final touches. Our motherboard power cable. There we go. Our graphics card. So always remove the plastic on your graphics card. It's not designed to run with plastic all over it. They just do this so nothing gets scratched. They get the shits with people returning things because it's got a scratch on it. Even over the fans. And most importantly, this one on the back. I mean, if you were really, really particular about it and wanted to keep it all on, please remove the one on the back, because that back plate's meant to dissipate a bit of heat.
You're a cat. Yes. Oh dear. Clean offices, it's snowing again.
Oh.
Jesus, fluffy now.
Fluffy Meow, he's back. So he only gets he'll only be getting ham tonight. Just ham that we're sharing with him because we forgot to buy him more tins of tuna.
Oh no, he's gonna starve to death.
His Majesty won't have his fish, his
Human grade fish.
Yeah. human grade ocean meat.
Yes.
Only ham. Yeah, I know. That's the sort of cat he is.
He won't eat cat nuggets or cat
Nah,
food.
no cat food. Won't touch any of that. He'll eat roast chicken, tuna,
And
salmon,
Oh, and ham.
and ham.
He does like a little bit of bacon every now and then.
Yeah, sometimes, but sometimes he won't eat the bacon. I get really upset when I share my bacon with him and he doesn't fucking eat it. I put it on the floor, I'm like, here you go, mate. And then he just looks at it, he's like, oh, I want that? You serious? I'm fucking... I don't want it. That's basically how he reacts.
Yeah, pretty much. He won't eat mince, but he'll eat it if you fry it first and then put it in the fridge.
Cooked, but it has to
Hot.
be cold. He
Yeah.
won't eat it if it's hot.
Nah.
Yeah. You've heard about fussy cats. Well, we got one here. That's why I always give him shit. I'm constantly giving him shit. Okay.
Oh, jeez. Clean offices. Here we're supposed to have salmon and they're all dying.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, America's going through a bit of
Do you wanna-
drought at the moment.
The cable.
Oh, the cable. Yes.
Yeah, America's having like their 1 in 100-year drought. Hey man, how you going? Good to have you with us.
This is beautiful cat. I have cat too.
Yes. Okay. Fluffy cat.
Very handsome with his bow tie.
Mm-hmm.
When he thought I was getting up, it's like, oh, food? Fluffy meow. Twitchy tail.
So one good thing about this motherboard is we don't need a BIOS update. We are all good to go.
Oh, very good. Queen Waffle says, no, it's the seals. It's their fault.
Definitely the seals. You know, there are islands that are part of Australian territory that have like some of the largest populations of seals in the world. We've got islands that like the only mammal that's there is seals. And we've got other ones where it's like all penguins pretty much. They're all like random little tiny islands in the Southern Ocean that you can barely see even on Google Earth.
Australia's like, yep, it's mine.
Yep.
This is mine. This is mine. Oh!
Oh, we punch above our weight militarily. That's part of it. We only got 25 million people. We got less people in Canada. And as you can see there tonight, we don't have an issue with the USB 3 drivers not being installed properly.
Yeah. Queen Waffle says it's because they're protected because people think that's cute.
Yep.
Yeah, well, we had an elephant seal, like, rampaging, I think it was South Australia just recently. He was rocking up in different towns and, like, smashing shit and breaking into the servo and all that sort of stuff.
That's hilarious. Only in Australia do you have like...
And you can't do anything about it because it's like a 200 kilo fucking...
Yeah, it's a big mass. It's a big mass of blubber.
Yeah, and it was a big male, so...
Yeah, you
Like,
can't.
you can't
You're not doing anything to him. It's like, are you serious? We are like monkey size compared to him. Like a monkey compared to us.
So, Dr. Attacks says, what's your favourite GPU Ryzen GTX 1080 Ti?
It's my favorite GPU. We just talking graphics card or GPU?
GPU.
Because if we're just talking graphics card, I mean it'd have to be the 3080 for me. Just the big jump in performance with 3080 I thought was excellent. Like raw performance, not just with DLSS on. And that is the GA102 GPU. So the GPU that went into 3080, 3080 Ti, 3090 and 3090 Ti. All the same GPU under the hood, just different configurations on the cards. But yes, 1080 was an absolute weapon for its time as well. Don't get me wrong. it was the same sort of uplift, but I think it was pretty similar in percentages compared to the 3080. But yeah, when the 3080 rocked up, it's just that those percentages translated to even more of a performance gain. So I guess I would personally say that the 3080 is my favorite. I'm probably a little bit biased though, because I've owned a 3080 before. I've sold it now with another customer. Speaking of which, I need to send in the other part of his PC because it was overweight. I couldn't actually ship it to him as is. So he's got the main part of it, but all the panels have been left off. They're going to be shipped to him separately. It's a little bit of a pain. It's a little bit dangerous because there's glass panels, so I've got to get it packed up right.
Meow. Could absolutely fight that seal and win.
Oh man. Yeah, tell them it's a 200. Tell them it's a 200 kilo seal, and they'll think it's pounds. So they'll think it's like a 100. Sorry, like a 90 kilo seal. Which they're like, I'm about that. I could take it.
Oh wait, it's a 500 kilo elephant seal.
A 500 kilo? Yeah, tell them. Okay, just lie and tell them it's a 300 pound seal. Tell them it's a roughly 300 pound seal. That's a big fucking seal. No, well, see, I mean, I'm basically in the state of Australia that's sort of most like a combination of probably like the desert and Florida and Mexico, pretty much all in one state. So yeah. Hey Emily, how you going? Good to have you with us.
Brooklyn, Texas. I would like to have 3080 too, but my wallet hates it.
Yeah, look, if you can find one that's in good condition, see if you can find an ex-mining one. They're generally fairly cheap. And sometimes, you know, even if your ex-mining card is running a bit hot, you can undervolt it and you'll still get like 97% of the performance, right? And that will usually deal with any sort of temperature issues you're having. Oh.
What's wrong?
My finger slipped.
What'd you do? Oh.
My finger slipped. Yeah. The equivalent of Shrek.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
And what was
I'll tell you something funny, Queen Waffles. I went to the United States when I was 12, right? And when I went there, I went and did the theme park thing, and when I was there, I met up with I just meet up with random American kids, and just to like because I'd seen and sort of had it in my head that Americans were kind of like a bit gullible and they didn't know much about like not necessarily gullible, but they didn't know much about Australia. They didn't know much about the world outside of the United States. So it was like I'm gonna screw with these Americans. So 12-year-old me, I'd tell them I'd be like, yeah, so in Australia, like we got kangaroos everywhere, man. Like we ride them to school and shit. Like you can either ride your bike or you can go by kangaroo. And they fucking believed it. They lapped it up. They're like, that's awesome, sort of thing.
You rode kangaroos. I rode an emu.
You rode an emu. Okay,
Well,
okay.
No,
No, I didn't have that in my head. I was like, we're sticking with kangaroos. Everyone knows kangaroos. I reckon I can sell it to them. So this is 12-year-old me just at the theme park, meeting random friends and just being like, yeah, bro, of course we ride kangaroos.
Queen Waffle says, oh, that's amazing.
I couldn't help myself. I don't have any brothers or sisters, so I was like the only young person. So like, I was there with my mum and, she wasn't going to get in on that.
I would have gotten in on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and my cousins would have as well. Like we would have all been having a good laugh.
Can we do that when we go to America?
Well, the problem is we're adults now, and so like
What about talking to some random teenagers?
if that happens, yeah. We don't want to get shot though.
Tim,
Yeah.
Emily wants to know how's the cat.
The cat's good. He's
Queen Waffle says the cat is going to only have ham tonight.
only ham tonight.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's an only ham night, not an only fan night, an only ham night.
She wants to know where is the cat.
He's here. He's waiting. He's waiting for dinner. He's waiting for his ocean
He's
meat,
pissed off Puerto Rican.
and he hasn't got his ocean meat yet
No.
because there's no ocean meat tins left. He gets fed human tinned salmon because he's not necessarily the most happy cat right now. He thinks that he's hard done by, but he's not. He's definitely not hard done by. He just expects that at a certain time he gets tins of tuna and salmon, and if it doesn't happen, he starts getting a bit pissy. You can see it in his body language. Yeah.
She says we just had that helicopter come over my house and land. Oh Jesus.
Oh damn. That's generally not this is Richard on Russell Island, isn't it? I think so. I can't see the screen. I'm going to assume it's Richard from Russell Island.
Cat's not happy because he doesn't have his tuna
Yeah.
or salmon.
No tuna or salmon, so he's going to have ham with us. Oh no. Only ham.
Since it was ham.
No, isn't it Ponyo loves ham and Ponyo loves Sosuke? Isn't that the line in the movie?
She also says that because she's like excited. So scared. And she's like, so scared loves ham. Ponyo over there.
I don't think so. I don't think so, babe. I'm not the Studio Gilby expert here or anything like that, but
I got it confused.
you got it wrong. Yeah, I knew that wasn't right. Alright, so we're nearly done with this software install.
I love this thing. I want to watch Premiere again. He's okay.
He'll be right. See, in Australia, it's Sunday night here, so we can't go down to like the equivalent of Walmart at this time of night because
Emily's in the UK.
What's that?
Emily's in the UK.
Emily's in the UK. They've probably got something similar in the UK. But yeah, there's penalty rates on Sundays, so the big companies have to pay more, so they shut early on Sundays. Macleay Island. Well, yeah, it's generally not good when the helicopter starts rocking up.
No.
That means generally a neighbour or friend is in a bit of a spot.
Have you had a friend be airlifted before?
Yeah.
That was his own fault.
Yeah, it was his own fault. Abso-bloody-lutely.
Oh, yeah. Putting officers, some people don't know what Wolverines are. And
Ah, yes. Yeah, all they know
That's
is
all I knew when I was a kid, and then I got older, and I'm like, what? There's an actual animal called a Wolverine, or what? They're actually pretty badass.
I just think of Family Guy with Peter Griffin singing that song. A Wolverine, and my hatred keeps me warm. Hey man, how you going? Good to have you here as always. I think this is the only thing I forgot. What?
Oh, this photographer mom, she let her son. He's got autism and doesn't like being in front of the camera, and he really wanted to be the T-Rex. You know, that inflated costume.
Yeah, yeah.
So she took some photos of him in the costume with his cousin. She got some really cool photos. The little girl looks like she's running away from a dinosaur. That's great.
Alright, let's set up Reaver Tuner. So these are the things we're going to see on our on-screen display. So you have to set some control keys for this to work properly.
Sydney Siders were treated to some pretty cool stuff a few days ago. Some Korean fighter jets are over here for the Australian International Air Show.
No, yep.
Practicing over Sydney.
Yep.
They're flying really close together. That's pretty cool. Joyce's. Hi there, Tim.
Hey, George.
Now.
Yes, fluffy mouse there. Mate, you're going to get some food. You just have to wait for us to be eating as well. So, quit your bitching. Come on, mate, stiff upper lip.
Between opposites, bears don't attack wolverines because they're equivalent to each other in power.
Yeah, okay.
I've actually heard that. But they're very feisty little things. You don't want to fuck with a wolverine. They'll take on anything. They're like a scavenger as well.
Mm-hmm.
They'll eat anything and attack anything.
Alright.
Yeah, it's basically called like the skunk bear because they're just as smelly. They would spray
Oh.
down their butthole
Oh no.
into marked territory.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That would stink.
And they're like as big as a wolf.
Oh jeez.
They're fucked. We have the Tasmanian devil. The US has wolverines.
Mm-hmm.
Pack of wolves. Yeah, I'll go with.
We also got these big wild cats.
Hmm?
We've got these big wild cats
Where?
in Australia.
Oh.
They're like domestic cats that have gone feral and have been breeding out in the Australian climate for frickin' hundreds of generations, and they're getting big.
Yeah, they're pretty much the size of like a medium-sized dog.
Yeah, they're like nearly like a lynx size.
They're basically called the Australian panther.
Yeah.
We've seen one.
People think that they're like an Australian big cat, but they're not. They're just a normal
it's a
cat.
domestic
It's just
cat
a normal
that's
cat.
gotten
It's just a
bigger.
slightly bigger cat. They're getting bigger because it's obviously aiding them in hunting or something like
Yeah,
that.
well, they can take down small wallaby and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, because there's shitloads. There's way more kangaroos in Australia than there's
cat,
humans.
Like 3 times the size of Buddy.
Yeah.
When Mother says you've awoken the fluffy yarn. When Mother says we have cougars.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck them.
I'd actually love to go hiking in America and come across a mountain lion or something like that. I'd love that. That'd be awesome.
Not if it was like trying to attack you.
No, I'd like to have a gun there.
I don't know if we can make that happen. Well, probably can.
Oh, I reckon we can. But yeah, no, but I wouldn't want to kill a mountain lion.
No.
I'm sure they're protected. I'm sure you're not meant to go hunting them.
No. You can hunt deer. At
Yeah,
certain
certain seasons you can hunt deer.
Meow. Meow. Oh, fluffy meow.
In Australia, it's hunting season depending on what's in plague proportions.
Yeah.
When there's too many roos, they start giving you a bounty for roos that you kill.
You get that with foxes.
You get that, yeah. Pretty much foxes and feral dogs are pretty much all year round.
And feral cats.
Yeah, local government areas will pay like a bounty for each one that you bring in.
Yeah, I got a friend that does foxes and rabbits and stuff like that.
Yep.
Meow. Meow.
She's going to the toilet and he's bloody jumping over her. Oh, you're going to the kitchen, aren't you? Just relax, mate. It's going to happen. Okay, so this PC is obviously compatible with Windows 11. As always, Windows 11 is just a free update that you can do. You can swap between Windows 10 and 11. There's a rollback feature in Windows 11 now. So, yeah, you can choose whatever version. It's the same license key, so don't worry about that. And you don't need any technical knowledge to do it. Just as simple as going into Windows Update and clicking on the button that says Update to Windows 11, which will appear. It's just because I've done a fresh install. Just restarted it once. It hasn't updated yet, but it will. So I'll open up Hardware Monitor in the background there, and it can just log the temperatures for us. And we can start running some gaming benchmarks. Yeah.
Queen Muffin. Sorry, the cat's as big as Maine Coons or Malaysian.
There, yeah, he's
Bigger than a Maine Coon or the
yeah,
size of a large male Maine Coon.
yeah. Yeah, so not like panther size or something like
No,
that.
even though they're called.
People
just
think,
because
yeah, people
most
freak
of the
out.
ones that are seen are black, so.
Yeah, then people freak out. They see a big black cat and they're like panther. Yeah, it was like 10 meters long, 5 meters wide. You know how it is.
Fish was this big.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I went fishing, caught a fish that was this big.
Which is better, Windows 10 or 11?
Well, I always install Windows 10 for now. It's pretty much for muchness. It's just easier to install Windows 10 on it, and then if someone's planning on using Windows 10 and they have software that sort of only runs properly on Windows 10, they'll be fine. Whereas anyone who wants to upgrade to 11, I mean, it's an easy thing. You just go into Windows Update and click Update, and it does it all for you in the background. You don't need any technical knowledge to do it. And then if you don't like it, you can roll back anyway. So, yeah, happy days.
That's so cool.
Alrighty, so that was Heaven there on the out-of-the-box setting, so high and no anti-aliasing. So next we'll do Valley on Ultra with max anti-aliasing. And as usual, our frames per second is under the word RAM. Hmm. Yeah.
She's one of my parents.
Yeah.
The law is physical from that way in New South Wales.
Hmm. Where's that?
That way in New South Wales.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Where's that? Don't know off the top of my head. I just want to know the latitude. Oh, yeah.
It's like south.
Yeah.
West. It's kind of in the Kosciuszko National Park.
Hmm. Aurora Borealis.
No.
Aurora Australis. At this time of day, at this time of year, localized entirely within my kitchen.
Yes.
Yes.
Can I see it?
No.
Gender binds down here, so it's like sort of a gender bind. The paramedic this weekend, she was driving, don't have much to do tonight. It's like 5 minutes out of town. You can even see the Andromeda, is that it? Closest galaxy.
Alrighty, so that was superposition there at 4K. So, how do we look after all that? CPU running as expected, and graphics card running as expected. Excellent. What's that?
It's lagging.
It's lagging. We shouldn't be lagging.
Sometimes it does that.
Alright, so we're doing our stress test now. So we set this one up to run for 90 minutes. And we just log the temperatures. Alrighty. And so this is just designed to start generating a bit of heat. I'll make sure everything's running right, and then if it's all good, then the customer can come pick it up, essentially. Think this guy wants to pick up. Fluffy Meow. Are you fluffy?
Meow.
He's watching you eating your chips, and he's not happy.
No. It's like, how come you're eating, bitch? I want food. Anyway.
He's a very fluffy Meow. Alrighty, so yeah, basically our GPU can get up to 83 degrees, our hotspot can get up to 110 degrees, and our CPU can get up to 95 degrees. So
Mike says, yeah, I can pick it up.
yes, cool. It's one I won't have to pack up for shipping. Sweet as. Well, this is where we'll probably end it, because I'm actually hungry, and I can see this bloody cat is also hungry. So thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next video.